So if we've learned anything about taking on a Star Wars project ever since the original Star Wars A New Hope, there is a high probability that no matter what you do, you will get hated for it. George Lucas, for example, wanted to sell it after the prequels because he was targeted by fans who hated the prequels. Today, Kathleen Kennedy happens to be public enemy number one. Now, Damon Lindelof talks about a Star Wars future and what it would take and wouldn't take to get him in there. Yeah, it's probably not a good idea, Damon. I mean, people hate you for Star Trek, so let's not double dip on the Star franchises. You know, I guarantee Damon Lindelof could easily get a job doing something Star Wars, but he has come to realize that the fan base is so negative and toxic no matter what you do, that from every angle you're gonna get attacked if you do one thing wrong, like put a wrong screw on a lightsaber. So he recently talked about taking on a few projects, some of his dream projects and all that, and realistically, you know, he worked on Star Trek, but Star Trek wasn't something that he was very passionate about, and that kind of showed. But then again, when you get him behind something that he does care about, like for example Watchmen or something along those lines, he shows a lot more care and passion behind what he's trying to do. So recently in an interview, which you guys can find a link down below, he talked about a dream Star Wars project. He said, and I quote, "And at some point, but certainly not in the imminent future, I feel like I would love to do something in a Star Wars universe, maybe a decade from now, when I will no longer be blamed for ruining it. That would be a hoot." Now remember, he's not the only one. There's been countless writers and talent out there in Hollywood that said they would love to work on Star Wars, but they get one look at that fan base and they just go, you know what, I don't want to be the next one. I don't want to be the next one getting death threats. I don't want to be the next one put under fire for everything. I don't want to be the next one who literally puts a tweet out that says Merry Christmas and most of the people are wishing him death because he ended up giving somebody a power that somebody didn't like, that contradicts something that Revan did, that connects to something that Darth Plagueis did, because in their head it has to play out the exact way. It just seems to be like the scenario that everybody who wants to work on Star Wars, some very talented directors previously that said, yeah, you know, we talked to them, but we just see what happens, we don't want to. Honestly, I think you kind of just start to understand that maybe he's just gonna wait. He's probably been approached. I guarantee he's actually been approached because he cares about Star Wars a lot more than he cared about Star Trek. And he's already went through that same thing with Star Trek. And I'll partially take some of the blame for that because I didn't like what he did, especially with the second movie. Thought the first one was good. Thought the third movie was good. The second movie, just redoing the whole con thing but completely botching why it's important, was absolute garbage, and he understood that, so he backed away from the franchise. Yeah, you probably don't want to come under the Star Wars, you know, fan base, because God knows 3 years after you've left, they're still going to make hate videos about you every day.